My loving audience take my love and subscribes my channel. And dive B&B stories. What if the one person you spent your entire life running from is actually the only one who knows your deepest, darkest secret? I want you to think about that for a second because it's exactly where we are heading this week in Los Angeles. Have you ever felt like a soap opera was finally getting its teeth back? Well, the week of June 15th to the 19th is looking like an absolute masterclass in chaos. And I'm not just talking about a few spilled drinks at Il Giardino. We are looking at a week where the past doesn't just knock on the door. It kicks it down and demands a seat at the head of the table. Is it possible that Sheila Carter's return isn't just about reclaiming a man, but about exposing a massive fraud? We're diving deep into a week that feels less like a typical daytime drama, and more like a high-stakes chess match where every single move is designed to draw blood. On Wednesday, June 17th, the world of the bold and the beautiful is going to tilt on its axis as two unstoppable forces collide. We've got the return of the ultimate baddie, Sheila Carter, and a corporate pivot from Steffy Forrester that feels way too convenient to be a coincidence. Why does it feel like these characters aren't just reacting to their lives anymore, but are actively sabotaging their own futures? The fashion wars are about to move from the runway straight into the courtroom of public opinion, and honestly, I don't think anyone is ready for the evidence that's about to be presented. We aren't just looking at spoilers here. We are looking at a psychological breakdown of what happens when obsession meets opportunity. To really get why Sheila Carter's return on June 17th is such a big deal, we have to look at who she really is. Sheila isn't just a villain. She is what I'd call a relational parasite. She can't just exist on her own. She needs a host, someone to obsess over, someone to protect, or someone to destroy. Her return to LA isn't some social visit, it's a repossession. Think about her history for a minute. Sheila's presence has always been a literal nightmare for the Forresters. From shooting Steffy Forrester to killing Taylor Hayes not once but twice. Even if those resurrections are a bit much, Sheila's shadow is long and dark. Emotionally, she always comes from a place of deep-seated abandonment. Every time she returns, it's like she's trying to rewrite a history where she was the victim instead of the person holding the gun. Psychologically, Sheila has this massive sense of entitlement, mixed with a scary lack of empathy. She actually believes that because she gave birth to Finn, she owns a piece of the Forrester dynasty. When she walks into Taylor's office this Wednesday, she isn't just interrupting a kiss between Taylor and Deacon. She's reclaiming her territory. She sees Deacon as her property and Taylor as nothing but a squatter she needs to evict. In my opinion, Sheila doesn't actually love Deacon. She just loves the idea that Deacon is the only person who can stand her. If he moves on with Taylor, Sheila loses her last link to humanity. This isn't a romance to her. It's a hostage situation where the ransom is Deacon's very soul. And what about Deacon and Taylor? They've been living in this weird, cozy little bubble lately, but let's be real. It's a house of cards. Deacon is desperately trying to convince everyone, and maybe even himself, that Sheila isn't a threat anymore. Why is he doing that? Well, because if Sheila is still a monster, it means Deacon's judgment is completely broken. He needs her to be reformed, so he doesn't have to admit he fell for a sociopath. Taylor, on the other hand, seems to be using Deacon as a distraction from her endless heartbreak over Ridge. Emotionally, Taylor is just exhausted. She's this world-famous psychiatrist who can't seem to fix a single thing in her own life. Getting with Deacon, Sheila's ex, is a textbook cry for help. It's self-sabotage pretending to be a fresh start. When the sources tell us they get a shock in Taylor's office, it's pretty clear what's happening. The shock isn't just seeing Sheila. It's the sudden realization that the past is never actually over. The bubble doesn't just pop, it goes up in flames. Sheila's whole plan is to kill the cozy vibe and replace it with pure chaos. And with her new roommate, Remy Price, potentially acting as her sidekick, we are looking at a full-on attack on Deacon's sanity. While Sheila is busy messing with people's hearts, Steffy Forrester is playing a much colder game with the business. On Wednesday, June 17th, Steffy makes a last-minute offer that changes everything. She wants to relaunch Hope for the future, almost immediately. She even suggests announcing it right alongside Eric Forrester's huge couture launch to get the buzz back. Now, on the surface, this looks like a peace offering, right? Brooke is over the moon. She thinks Steffy is finally being fair and supportive. But if you know anything about Steffy, You know she doesn't do anything for a Logan out of the kindness of her heart.
Steffy is a corporate shark, period. She knows something is fishy. She's been nosing around Spencer Publications, and she clearly suspects that Katie has poached Hope for her own company. Psychologically, this offer is a total stress test. By giving Hope exactly what she's always wanted, the relaunch of her brand, Steffy is backing her into a corner. If Hope says yes, she has to blow up her secret deal with Katie at Logan. If she says no, she looks ungrateful and like she doesn't care about her own career. I really suspect Steffy knows exactly what's going on. This isn't an offer, it's a trap. Steffy is using the brand relaunch to smoke out Hope's lies. Hope is currently working as the lead designer for Logan, which is a direct competitor. In the fashion world, that isn't just a secret, it's corporate treason. Let's talk about Hope Logan's mental state for a second. The sources say the walls are closing in on her, and honestly, can you blame her? This is fascinating because Hope's whole brand is being the good girl. She's supposed to be the moral compass. Yet, here she is, sneaking out and lying through her teeth to the Forresters about why she's on sabbatical. Emotionally, Hope has to be feeling a mix of freedom and pure terror. Working for Katie at Logan, with Deke Sharp gives her the creative room she never had under Steffy's control. But that freedom is costing her every bit of her integrity. Every single time she smiles at her mom, she's hiding a betrayal. Psychologically, she's living as two different people. There's the Hope for the future, icon everyone sees, and then there's the Logan, designer trying to take down the Forrester empire from the shadows. She's trying to have her cake and eat it too, but like Steffy's offer proves, you can't serve two masters in this business. My take: Hope finally found a backbone, but she's using it the wrong way. Instead of just quitting Forrester and being honest, she's playing a dangerous game that is bound to blow up in her face. When Brooke starts celebrating a bright future with Hope on Friday, it's going to be so ironic it hurts. Brooke is celebrating a future built on a lie. And we can't forget about the Spencer side of things, because it's a huge part of the mess this week. Wyatt and Shauna are teaming up to pitch something to Bill. Bill, being Dollar Bill, likes what he hears, but he wouldn't be himself if he didn't demand something impossible in return. He wants the Hope for the future diamond before he signs anything. This is classic Bill Spencer. He doesn't just want a business deal. He wants leverage. The jewelry line Shauna wants is just a way for him to get his foot in the door. By demanding that specific diamond, Bill is jumping right into the middle of the Forrester/Logan war. It feels like Bill is getting restless. His life has been too quiet lately, and a quiet Bill Spencer is usually a dangerous one. He's playing hardball because he wants to remind everyone who actually runs the show in this town. Wyatt and Shauna are basically just pawns in his bigger plan. Psychologically, Bill is all about control. If he can own the diamond that symbolizes Hope's brand, he can control how the whole fashion war ends. It's a genius move, even if it is totally ruthless. Wednesday, June 17th, is really the day where all these fires merge into one giant blaze. Think about the timeline here. In the morning, Steffy sets the trap for Hope. Hope's heart starts racing while Brooke is probably already chilling the champagne. Then, by lunch, Sheila walks into Taylor's office. The cozy times are officially over. Taylor's medical degree is going to be useless against the raw, crazy energy of a woman who refuses to sign her divorce papers. By the afternoon, Will Spencer is probably sweating through his shirt because Elektra is breathing down his neck for the secret of the new Logan designer. Will is the only thing standing between Hope's secret and Steffy's total win. Why did the writers put Sheila's return and Steffy's big offer on the exact same day? Because Wednesday is clearly the day of reckoning. It's the day when every single character is forced to choose a side. I have a feeling Sheila's true motives that come out on Thursday won't just be about Deacon. I'm predicting she knows something about Hope's secret. Sheila has always been the fly on the wall, and if she can trade that secret for a way back into the Forrester world, she'll do it in a heartbeat.
At the end of the day, this whole week is about a conflict between legacy and survival. The Forresters are obsessed with their status and their couture launch. They represent the old guard. But that guard is being threatened by the people they've always looked down on. Sheila Carter is the ultimate survivor. She's been shot, burned, and jailed, but she always comes back. Her whole brain is wired to believe she has to fight for every bit of love and power she can get. Interestingly, Hope Logan is moving into that survival camp too. She's trying to survive the boredom of Forrester Creations by jumping ship to Logan. But she's using Forrester tactics, secrecy and manipulation to do it. The real irony? Steffy is using Sheila's own playbook to trap Hope. This last-minute offer is a game-changer because it uses the person's own dreams against them. It's psychological warfare at its best. As we get closer to Friday, the fallout is going to be massive. My first prediction? Hope is going to mess up. Whether it's Will talking to Elektra, or Steffy catching Hope at the Logan office, the truth is coming out. And when it does, Brooke's bright future is going to look more like a disaster zone. Steffy won't just fire Hope. She'll make sure she never works in fashion again. Prediction number 2. Remy Price isn't just a roommate. I bet Remy is the one who figured out Hope's secret while working with Deke. If Remy and Sheila team up, they can blackmail both the Forresters and the Logans. Sheila doesn't just want Deacon back. She wants to be the one who controls all the information in LA. Prediction 3. Wyatt isn't going to be able to get that diamond. This is going to cause a huge rift between him and Bill, and I wouldn't be surprised if Shauna tries to steal it from the Forresters herself. Bill doesn't take no for an answer, and Wyatt is about to find out how far his dad will go. And prediction 4. Seeing Sheila again is going to completely break Taylor. It's going to trigger every bit of her past trauma. I think she'll end up pushing Deacon away just because he was the one who let Sheila back into their lives. In the end, Sheila wins not because she gets Deacon, but because she makes sure nobody else can have him. The most interesting thing about all this is the name of Hope's line. Hope for the future. This week that name just feels like a cruel joke. You can't build a future on a bunch of lies. Steffy's offer isn't just business. It's a test of character. If Hope says yes, she proves she's a Logan, always looking for the best deal. If she says no, she proves she's a Forrester, invested in the family legacy. But by working for Katie in secret, she's neither of those things. She's become a shadow, almost like Sheila herself. We are watching the moral collapse of Hope at the exact same time we're seeing the return of Sheila. It's a perfectly timed tragedy. One woman is trying to leave her bad past behind, while the other is slowly turning into the very person she's always hated. So, I've got to ask you, what do you think? Is Steffy actually trying to help Hope with this offer? Or is she playing high-level chess to expose her secret deal with Katie? Is it possible that a person can actually be addicted to chaos? Or is Sheila Carter just the ultimate expert at destroying her own life? I want you to think about that for a second because we are heading into a week that isn't just a simple return, it's a total reckoning. When Sheila walks into Taylor's office on Wednesday, June 17th, she isn't just stopping by for a chat. She's basically planting a flag in the middle of a war zone. Do you think this was really just a coincidence? Or has she been watching them from the shadows this whole time? Well, the funny thing is that Deacon Sharp has spent weeks trying to convince everyone that Sheila isn't a threat anymore. He wants to believe he fixed her. But honestly, isn't that just the classic trap of an enabler? He's seeing what he wants to see while the real monster is just waiting for the right moment to strike. Sheila's return is the ultimate reality check for a man who's been lying to himself. We really have to ask ourselves why she picked this specific moment and why she's targeting Taylor. Is she actually looking for love? Or is she just looking for leverage? This isn't just soap opera drama. It's a deep look at how obsession never really dies. It just hides until it can do the most damage. When Sheila shows up, she doesn't just knock on the door. She completely shatters the peace. Deacon and Taylor are having this cozy moment in her office, which, let's be honest, is a massive mistake on their part. Why would a world-famous psychiatrist like Taylor Hayes let her guard down in an office that's seen more drama than a hospital emergency room? The sources say her appearance leaves them both on edge, and they should be terrified. If we look at why this is happening now, it's clear the writers are setting up a collision between a man trying to be good and a woman who refuses to be ignored. Deacon has been lying to Sheila about their marriage while he falls for Taylor. That is such a dangerous game to play. You don't lie to someone who has a history of using a gun to solve her dating problems. Sheila's return is basically Deacon's guilt coming to life. He thought he could just move on quietly, but in this town, secrets don't stay buried. They just rot until they explode. Let's get into Sheila's real motives because they are as old as the show itself. She wants to take back what she thinks is hers. Specifically, she is coming for Deacon. We know she's clinging to hope that she can keep her marriage together.
The proof is right there in the paperwork. She still hasn't signed those divorce papers. In my opinion, this is Sheila's safety net. As long as that paper isn't signed, she still has a legal leash on Deacon. It's a total control move. By not signing, she keeps the door open just enough to kick it down later. Emotionally, I think Sheila is feeling totally abandoned. For her, Deacon was the only person who treated her like a human being. When he moves on to Taylor, it's not just a breakup for Sheila. It's like her entire identity as a changed woman is being erased. Psychologically, she's dealing with a massive blow to her ego. If Deacon loves Taylor, then everything Sheila did to change was for nothing. She needs him to need her because without him, she's just the villain again. She is fighting for the one person who gave her any kind of respect in a town that hates her. I really don't agree with people who think this is about love. This is about possession, plain and simple. Sheila doesn't want Deacon to be happy. She wants him to be her property. The second she sees him with Taylor, all those pure intentions she claims to have are going to vanish into thin air. She's going to blow her top because her ego can't handle being replaced by someone as perfect as Taylor Hayes. It's the ultimate insult to a woman who has spent her whole life trying to prove she's just as good as the Forresters. And we can't just ignore the history between these two women. Sheila has killed Taylor twice already, or at least, that's what everyone thought at the time. Taylor is everything Sheila can never be. She's respected, she's smart, and she's loved by the right people. When Sheila goes after Taylor, she's really fighting a war against her own insecurities. I think Sheila sees Taylor as a total hypocrite. She probably thinks, I'm called the monster, but look at the good doctor sleeping with my husband. It gives Sheila a way to feel like she's the one being wronged. This is something she does a lot. She justifies her bad behavior by pointing out the mistakes other people make. By pushing Taylor out of the picture, Sheila isn't just getting her man back. She's winning against the woman who represents everything she hates about herself. My opinion is that Taylor is being incredibly risky here. Why would she date the one man who is still tied to the most dangerous woman in California? Taylor probably thinks she can fix the situation because she's a doctor, but that's just her own arrogance speaking. When Sheila reveals her true motives on June 18th, Taylor is going to find out that a medical degree doesn't protect you from a woman with a plan. This is where things get really interesting and kind of dark. Some sources suggest Sheila might be looking for more than just a husband. She might be looking for a bargain. There is a lot of talk that she might use Taylor's safety to make a deal with Steffy Forrester. Think about that for a second. Sheila could promise to leave Taylor alone and let her be happy with Deacon, but only if Steffy lets her see Finn and Hayes. If you analyze this, it's actually a genius move, even if it is totally evil. Sheila knows that Steffy cares about her mom more than anything. If Sheila can act like she could hurt Taylor but chooses not to, she creates a situation where the Forresters owe her. She's trying to buy her way into her son's life using Taylor's safety as money. It's a sociopathic move that proves she hasn't changed at all. She's just gotten better at manipulating people. Psychologically, this shows how obsessed Sheila is with her bloodline. She's always talking about how her blood is in baby Hayes' veins. To her, that's like a contract. She doesn't see Finn as a real person with his own feelings. She sees him as a piece of herself that was stolen away. And do you think Sheila Carter is actually capable of having pure motives? Or is this just the first move in a new, deadly game? I want to hear your wildest theories in the comments. Are you Team Forrester or Team Logan in this fashion war? Make sure you hit that like button if you're ready for all the drama. Subscribe so you don't miss our daily deep dives, and ring that bell to stay updated on every single spoiler. Thanks for hanging out with me. Remember, in this town, the only thing more dangerous than a known enemy is a last-minute offer. Stay bold, stay beautiful, and I'll see you in the next one.